and welcome back to the Magic Kathy Show. And I guess your preparation episode for the eclipse after Mercury just stationed retrograde. I was very retrograde-y too and just felt like plugging out, literally. I also shifted into a completely different timeline, and I just wanted to fill you in and everything that I've been noticing, witnessing, observing, what's going on in the field, and why this eclipse with this Mercury retrograde is so fucking intense and significant. Like, really. I'm not surprised that 3 people that have their birthday on the 8th of April literally reached out for a solar return reading, because I'm like, if that's your birthday, well, you better know what's going on for the next year. So if you happen to have a solar return around the 8th of April, then definitely consider a solar return reading, because it's the energy for your year ahead. And I mean, what can I say? You know, yes, we know Mercury retrograde. Yes, all of these things, right? And sometimes transits coincide and it seems very synchronistic, but this time it's so much more significant because Mercury retrograde is not happening while we have the eclipse. It's also happening in the same sign that the eclipse is happening, with the North Node, which is our destiny, happening there too, which is all Aries, right? It's all Aries. So it's all destiny, it's all future, it's all your new path, it's all courage, it's all independence, it's all instinctual, it's all divine, it's cosmic child, it's so fucking much. And why do we need a Mercury retrograde for all of that, right? Why? Well, the answer is pretty clear, because, you know, as children, we know exactly why we are here and what we are meant to do here. And then the conditioning, Mercury, happens, right? And because of that conditioning and the programming, we lose the connection and clarity around our path. And I guess that's really what we are here clearing out right now, where it's like, okay, wait a second. You know exactly why you came here, right? You know exactly why you decided to incarnate during this time. And so it's just the programming that stops you from actually following these impulses that you receive from source, from your higher self, from your inner child, from the love of your life, right? From basically spirit all the fucking time. I love to say that the fire signs, right? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, they are actually the signs that are connected to intuition, because fire is intuition, right? First fire is Aries, that first initial spark. I come here onto this earth plane, I incarnate as a cosmic child, right, into this physical body. I'm here, right? I scream with full power, right? First breath, first fire, first, outburst of, I'm here, I'm powerful, and I'm here to create, Leo, which is the second fire sign, something significant out of my entire journey, Sagittarius. So the fire signs really show us why we are here, right? And what our path is here too, which is, again, you come here, right, in order to learn, in order to create from your learning experiences, and then share it with the world, share it with the collective, make it a teaching that everyone can benefit from. And that's also connected with Chiron in Aries at the same time, also with the eclipse, because Chiron is the wounded healer, right? It's this understanding that we have these wounds because they are also teaching us. They are stepping stones, and we can use them to alchemize them in order to understand, you know, what puzzle piece for the collective we've been transmuting, right? And can heal other people through. And so that goes for everyone. And then there's this big piece of Aries where, gosh, we just really have to let go of the people pleasing, which is the other side, Libra, right? Our South Node, of the fear of judgment. That's been coming up a lot also for me, like this fear of judgment when you go your own path, especially related to people that want you to be in a certain way, right? Or I want to say it more so too, it's all just your perception. you assume and think that these people will only love you if you are in a certain way. And so you started to be in a certain way in order to make sure that you still remain intact with that love. But what if the vibration changed? And what if your story internally also changed, where it's like, well, no, actually in my reality, right, because I create my reality, this person loves me as long as I'm happy, you know, because this person really loves me, not conditionally, but this person wants the best for me. Because what is love? Love is really when you want the best for someone, right? You want them to be happy. You want them to thrive. You want them to shine. You want them to be as bright as fucking possible. And we live in this conditioning, especially related to family, right? Where we think our family doesn't want that for us. And so we started to shapeshift and wear these masks and false personas and constructs because we think the outer world only wants us in a certain way. But the people that love us the most, wouldn't they want us to shine the brightest, right? And that would make them happy too. So I think it's trying also and having the courage to just try a new way of operating in this life. And it's interesting because we have gate 51 as we have this eclipse, and also the numerology of the day, there's a lot of 8 energy. And the reason I bring it up is because the 8 for me is always this internal, external. It's a very Libra mirroring kind of energy. So this mirror of, well, what if that's all just internal shit that you need to clear, and then it's not going to happen in the external anymore. That's the whole thing. Whenever I speak about the hologram and the holographic nature of reality, it's all just your projection, actually. It's all just your judgment. It's all just your shit inside. It's all just your stories, which is why, again, this Mercury retrograde is so significant, because it can have that power to change your entire reality if you understand that your reality was based on these limiting stories and narratives that you are still running in your system from childhood. What if you just clear that now out, right? And implement a new mental construct, right? A complete reset, restart, Aries, in your mental framework, and then see if your reality in the external also changes, including the people and how they react. It's almost like a miracle where you're like, this is weird. Like, this is not the same person. It looks like the same person, but the reaction is completely different. That actually happened with my dad, you know? I cleared so much with my dad and the stories that I had. And when I reached back out to him after 7 years of Saturn, not talking to him and seeing him, I assumed a completely different reaction. And the way this man then responded to me, I was like, this is wild. This is evidence right here. This is a different kind of human in front of me, right? I was almost speechless and relieved. And it's just clear evidence that, you know, it's all just our own fucking internal shit that we need to clear. You know, including like, is really the outside world judging you, or are you judging yourself right here, right? There's just so much about that, where we are actually, I said that to Lisa, Lisa and I are doing a really powerful activation for the eclipse on Monday, but we do it on Sunday evening or morning, depending on which time zone you are at. So if you would like to participate, it's free, literally free. We just want to bring a lot of people together. So you better come, right, and have a cosmic party with us for the eclipse and let our inner children play. The link below in the show notes, of course. I just want to bring people together again. You know, it's like, can we just relieve all of that fucking pressure around money, around logistics, around life, around ascension, around, like, can we just have fun again, Aries, right? And just play. And that's why Lisa and I were like, let's just have a cosmic party for the eclipse. No pressure, no strings attached, just the right people together, just having fun on this earth plane again, because that's really what we've been a bit missing with all of the intensity, right? Just have a party. So you're invited to the party, and you still have to RSVP down below with the link, so you get all the logistics, and yeah, we are excited to see you there. But aside from that, I was talking to her and we were saying, like, we just have to play again. We just have to, not take it all so serious and not overcomplicate and overthink every single thing that we do. Children don't do that. Like, literally, children don't do that. They don't even know that there's something to overthink here. Like, what do you mean? Like, I just want that ice cream. Like, why do I have to now analyze if that fits into my schedule or if it fits into my dietary regimen, if it's healthy enough, if there are whatever ingredients? Yes, of course, all in moderation, balance Libra thing, kind of whatever. But if it's like every single thing you do becomes a quest around your integrity, your spirituality, your whatever, it's like, hey, at the end of the day, it's all source, it's all spirit, nothing is good or bad. Like, come on, like, take a chill pill, like, why do we have so many like rules and things? And yeah, anyways, that's also what I wanted to speak about. Gate 51 that we have for this eclipse is the gate of shock in Gene Keys or the Human Design. And I've always been a bit like, oh my gosh, 51, because usually, I mean, a good friend of mine who's also working with with Human Design, he always said, like, when you have an appointment with someone or you meet someone on a day, right, that has gate 51, be sure that you are up for an initiation. And when he said that, I was like, what do you mean? Like, well, anyone with 51, it's just like coming into your field to awaken something in you, to shock you in a way. And it's a very Uranian energy. And when I saw that, I'm like, well, it's already an eclipse with Mercury retrograde on our destiny and like all of the things. We also need gate 51, right? The sun illuminating a shock. Great, right? But I think the highest expression we have to see that is really all about Uranus. Yes, it's unexpected, it's shocking, but it's awakening us to our true nature, right? I always explain Uranus is basically that force that helps us through that Saturnian limit, structure, rules, boundary, veil, however you want to say that, so we can connect to Neptune spirit again, right? And so, yes, Uranus comes with a shock and sometimes really uncomfortable and really taxing on our nervous system, also rules the nervous system. But ultimately, when the dust settles, we will be so relieved about that liberation, right? And so I want you to really be mindful of that, no matter where happens. And sometimes, honestly, we are also that shocking thing for others, right? For the external world. And we might not like that. I'm born with Uranus on my ascendant. Gosh, I have seen that over and over again. It's probably also why I do the work that I do. And I'm a projector and need to wait for an invitation here, because any time I enter someone's life, stuff is just being activated. Very Uranian ways. Also, people, when they have readings with me afterwards, just life is different, What can I say? It awakens something in you where, once you see, you can't unsee kind of energy. And it's not always easy to move forward then and make the right changes, right? And that's why people need to be ready also for a reading, right? But when they are, it's powerful, because then they are willing and we can move forward together. And you are more connected to your path. So I think there's a side to all of that, right? And yeah, it's how to stay sane, how to stay sane in this wildness. And I guess the best way to navigate it is to do the things that ancients already did in eclipses. I'm not saying that you can't leave the house or, have to shield yourself for the next week, but it's clever to just stay chill and grounded and not do too many wild things that you usually don't do. So, even though it's Aries, like, wait with the new things until next week, like until the dust settles, because the energy during eclipses is also very volatile. And I would even go as far as saying, like, wait until the end of April. April 25th is when Mercury stations to move forward again. And the reason why there is a connection, again, Mercury is not just in Aries, but Mercury also happens to station and move forward again exactly where the eclipse is happening. So, and then where the North Node with the eclipse is happening. So Mercury will literally station on our North Node. So I think this time period from now, April 1st, 2nd was when Mercury stationed, until April 25th is really this integrating, digesting, sitting with the shock that came through, the plot twists, the unexpected things, the plans that were not working, and really sitting with that, looking at it, allowing yourself the time also to reflect on it all. And then end of April, we can say, okay, now I understand the picture and the story, and I'm emotionally not as attached to all of the things anymore. I've, kind of digested and integrated, and I'm ready to now begin and start and move forward and really make it physical, which will be then Taurus season. So, with all of that Aries energy, I think it's very important for us to understand that Mercury is retrograde, so our mind needs some time to catch up. And I think it's clever to give ourselves that time and to not over rush and over push and all of the things. So Mars is also in Pisces, so very fishy. There's not really a lot of ground and understanding like how we even take action. And Mars is the ruling planet of the North Node, but also of taking action, right? And when Mars is in fishy Pisces, it's basically Spirit is taking the action, not you. Right? So trust that, the cosmos is not lying. When we have those energies, like, better flow with the energy. Don't take action yourself. Like, let Spirit take over. True eclipse fashion. It's probably the smartest thing that you can do. And to see what unfolds. Like, it's also kind of taking the pressure off, because you don't even, first of all, you shouldn't do anything. And second of all, you can't do anything. You can just chill, It's hard to chill because we want to do stuff and we get all of these insights and things and we're like, I want to do that now, initiate. But just take a chill pill. Take a chill pill, let it unfold, and trust what doesn't unfold, doesn't have to unfold, right? Don't push anything. And that's really my advice here. And also to plug out, a big one, to plug out. Like, I can't even tell you how repelled I am to technology right now. There's some weird shit happening. And yesterday, then I was like literally for days, because I was traveling, I wasn't really able to focus on like being in front of my laptop. And then I finally sat down and was like, okay, let me do it now, right? And obviously YouTube and Google were just down, and I'm like, yeah, that's a sign right there. I was kind of glad. I was kind of really glad and relieved. And then also, I just can't be on my phone. I can't be on, it's like all irritating my frequency. Like, I really feel it. I'm just like, no, like, let me just listen to some frequencies like Earth's music. I've been working a lot with tuning forks and really, really, really making sure to ground, especially because I was traveling and I felt like the intensity of the solar flares and all of these things. I was like, okay, let me just ground. Take some ground, right? Ground, plug out. And honestly, like, the best thing that you can do is you should do that at any time, to always just do the things that excite you the most in the moment, like a child would, right? And not overthink what you should do instead, right? It's like, we really have to hold our frequency as high as possible, not force and push ourselves to do anything that doesn't feel like it's making my inner child happy right now. And if that means you have to cancel plans, Mercury retrograde with someone or something, do it, because that's priority right now, to stay sane in these eclipse times. And it might also mess up your own schedule and routine and rhythm, because it's eclipse season. And sometimes that means, in the middle of the night you wake up fucking starving and need to eat. or during the day you just need to sleep all day. It's just really flow with the energy, because there are a lot of DNA energy upgrades that are also happening at the same time, and our bodies are really like flowing with that. They feel it on a cellular level, and whatever requirement that is, just don't even look at the clock. Literally, like flow with whatever your body needs. Also, don't second guess like whatever you crave. Like, it's so important for us that our physicality is able to catch up, and so break out of anything that you've done in terms of routine. Also, when it comes to how you nourish yourself, how you ground yourself, and don't question these impulses, Aries, that you have. You know, if that means like all of a sudden a pedicure comes into your field, like, don't question. Maybe it's because your feet need extra care, and it's also the touch of that person, and or you need a warm soap bath or whatever. There's an energetic reason why you get the impulse, right? Or all of a sudden you have this craving for specific kind of foods. Like, just do it. Like, literally, it's Aries season. The best thing that you can do is to really navigate life in Aries ways, which is, again, child first impulse. We do it. It's like very splenic. So for all the splenic projectors out there and people, the spleen, like literally, yesterday I did a tuning fork session, interestingly enough, for the spleen, because I just felt like I need to, my instincts, like I need to clear out my spleen right there. There's definitely some room for improvement, and it helped. It was really good. So all of that being said, again, stay sane, come to our party on Sunday, and let me know how you're feeling and navigating with these energies, what's been coming up. And yeah. Also, I said it on my forecast. If you read it on Instagram, Magic Cathy Official, and I will say it again, this week especially, anything and everything that happens is really connected to this entire new path. So it's your job right now to take notes. Just take notes without like already knowing the picture, just taking notes. Like, we are collecting data right now, and then during April we can reflect on, okay, that's the data that we've been collecting, that's been popping up during the week leading up to the eclipse when Mercury stationed retrograde, and this person reached out to me, this didn't, this was going easily and smoothly, this didn't, I had this thought, I had that thought. Like, literally just take notes without any emotional agenda or story or conclusion, right? Just taking notes, knowing, okay, all of that is not random, right? It's like, okay, I'm just watching reality unfold, taking notes, and then at the end of the day, as a professor, I'm painting the picture right there. But it's not time now to paint a picture, but taking notes. Really important, take notes. Because again, nothing is random here. And especially today is actually Venus with Neptune, the dreams that you have in your heart. Like, what would excite you the most? Don't sleep on them. Like, literally, what pops up in your mind where you're like, fuck yeah, I remember as a child I wanted to do this. Or right now, this would be a fairy tale if that would happen and be my life. Take note of that, because that's also not random that it's popping up right now, right? And I would love to hear what that is, actually. So you can share it with me on Instagram, Magic Cathy Official. Share this episode, then I can tag you, and also, we can have an interaction in the chat. And also, share it with anyone. Like, spread the word for these episodes, for the forecast. It always means the world to me. And it helps people also to stay sane. So by you sharing that, I always say that it's, you illuminate the world, we create a ripple effect, and we can coast these waters together, because that's what we are meant to do here anyways, to do it all together and not in isolation, and everyone is in their own little bubble. Like, come together. Again, our cosmic party on Sunday. I'm excited to see you there. And if you happen to have a solar return during these intense energies, then please let me know. Reach out to me for a solar return reading, because I would highly recommend that. There's also a video that I have on YouTube. I will link it down below, actually, which is all about eclipse birthdays. So eclipse solar returns, because I had one in 2017 that completely shifted my life, and I share about that on my YouTube channel. And from this video, a lot of people with solar eclipse or lunar eclipse birthdays have reached out to me or had a reading the last years. So any time, because it's not normal that you have planned your life with an eclipse birthday. And so if that's something your soul planned, you know that from that eclipse birthday on, your life won't ever be the same again. Like I can literally say that that's when I started my business. That's when, I mean, anything, like everything, literally my entire life, I can't even, it's in new incarnation basically. It literally eclipsed me into my path and the work that I do now. So yeah, if you're curious, I will link it down below, or you can just reach out to me for a solar return reading. All the links are down below as well, or you email me info@abracadabrababy.de, or again, Instagram, Magic Cathy Official. Without further ado, have a smooth, easy, chill pill eclipse time. I hope to see you on Sunday. Step in your magic.